show, fourth Monday of the month, and it's at Hop Leaf. She'll be in the Chicago Women's Funny Festival this June. Please welcome Kenna Holenhoff. Bring her up here.
I have a hard name to pronounce. I'm always like singing in the back going, are they going to say it right? And she did. So a little bit about myself is my mom immigrated here from the far, far away land called Canada. But nobody talks about how hard her immigrant story was. Or how hard it was for me to grow up the daughter of a woman from Canada. Canadians are really polite. Try being an American with a Canadian mom. Or sometimes you might do something crazy like for, gifts, and you give people things like clove apples. What fourth grader doesn't want a clove apple? It's a real difficult thing, having a Canadian mom. She grew up in actually Winnipeg, where Elaine's going to go. Just a little fact about Winnipeg, the downtown streets are all named after the prostitutes who founded the city. I just like to share the useless facts, and just so you know a little bit about myself. So recently, I actually went up to Winnipeg just a couple weeks ago, and when I went to the border, I was showing them my passport. I don't have dual citizenship because who would have thought that I'd have to go back to Canada ever? This was, growing up. But I showed the border patrol my passport, and he's like, "Oh, why are you visiting?" I said, "I'm here to visit family." Named all my family members. He's like, "There's a way you can stay." Guys, Canada's recruiting us. It's not going to be that hard to get there. And I'm a person who's old enough that I don't share my age anymore because I'm too old to let people know that my age. But if I died today, you'd be like, "Oh, she was so young." That's really sad that happened to her. She's so young. But if I told you my age, you'd be like, "Oh, honey." And I keep wondering, when is the change going to happen when I start morphing into like middle age? Because it does happen. You can see it online with your friends and your family members. And I'm like, when is that going to happen? Another thing about me that I just like to share is that I'm also a breast cancer survivor. Woo! And that's why I tell you that, so I can get applause. What other disease do we applaud for? It really is breast cancer, and it's probably because you do want to save the boobs. But if I came out and said that I had Graves' disease, it's very quiet. You guys, Graves' disease is not very grave. It was named after the doctor who discovered it. But I like to call it by a different name. Like, sometimes I call it Missy Elliott's disease or Don Knotts' disease. But what I really like to call it is Disney princess eyes. Because my eyes keep getting bigger and bigger, just like a Disney princess. It's a burden. But it's also really weird having these two conditions, because I feel like when I go to the doctors, specialists are always happy to see you and they're glad you're back. But your regular doctor never says, "Hey, welcome back. I'm glad you came back another year. Good job living." They always want to point out what's wrong with you when you see your general practitioner, right? So when I come in, they're like right away, they're like, "Oh, breast cancer." And I'm like, hero. Then they point out something else. They're like, "Graves' disease." I'm like, "Disney princess eyes." And the third thing that they always point out is how that I'm overweight. And I want to be like, no, I'm Midwest healthy. Clearly, I am doing something right. I'm seeing you again. But I did, when I had cancer, I did see a plastic surgeon, which I only way can explain how wonderful a plastic surgeon is that I love him so much that I love him even more than my hair colorist. And when I go, and it's really bizarre because like after you get surgery and everything, you want to show them off. But living in Chicago, there's not a lot of wet t-shirt contests. So recently, last summer, I was dating somebody, or talking to somebody, or hanging out, I don't know the words, because he was a lot younger than me. And part of the reason that I decided to stop dating him hanging out or talking or whatever it was we were doing, was he started taking selfies of himself and sending them to me. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this. I know what you look like. I have access to you online on everything like Facebook, Twitter and all that. And he sent me these, selfies. And I told my coworker, I'm like, I feel like this is one step away from a dick pic. And she's like, oh no, Kenna, it's 2 to 3 steps away. I don't know what the other 2 to 3 steps are, and I haven't figured it out. But it's also weird to me because after I stopped dating him, trying to date online, I can't date online because I'm too powerful for it. You laugh, but I immediately swiped right, was told right away that I was cute and he was hard. Who knew this Disney princess face worked that quickly? But then I thought it's not just when I'm online, it's when I'm out in public. So I'd like to apologize today. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you're hard. Thank you, Kenna.